Hi there, welcome to Nerdy Geek Talk, the source for all your nerdy geeky needs. I am your host, Aaron, this week over on Awesome Asylum. Eric made the mistake of leaving me in charge, and my co-hosts today are underscore Zeus and Mike. Say hi, guys.
Hey.
How's it going?
So, first we're going to talk about what we got this week or what we looked at this past week. Because I know some of us didn't buy some stuff, but we looked at some stuff. So, whichever one of you wants to go first, fight to the death over it.
All right. I've got my knife ready. I got a gun here somewhere, probably. Let's go. Let's do this. Mike, what weapons do you bring to this death match?
Well, I'll have to pull out my machete and I will meet you at the flagpole.
Which flagpole? I live near a lot of flagpoles.
I'll come to you just as an excuse to have a nice little road trip.
All right, great.
And I know
Finds out
the
he lives down the
Nerdy
street.
Geek Talk News does not endorse violence, people.
Unless it's me and Mike.
Yeah, unless it's you two.
It's like an exhibition wrestling match.
But yeah, whichever one of you wants to go first, decide amongst yourselves. I just am running the ship. I don't care what happens on the ship.
You don't care if we crash into an iceberg and become Titanic too?
Yes.
All right. Well, I've got less to talk about, so I may as well go first. I didn't really get anything comic related, but I was in Barnes & Noble the other day, and I saw that they have a DC Superheroes Looney Tunes crossover comic, and I read a few pages, and it's very funny, and I'm probably going to buy it at some point.
All right.
And the only thing I bought in this past week was, from that same trip to Barnes & Noble, I got the Robot Spirits.
Which-
The robots.
Which one?
Sorry, it's just gonna be a second.
Oh, it's all good. Would you like to share what you got then, Mike? Well,
Sure. I picked up another volume of the Flash Rebirth. I think it's the latest trade. I'm not positive. And while I was at Walmart, I walked by and I saw this pretty cool looking Batman mug on clearance. So I had to get that. And for whatever reason, on a whim, not to jump on the Deadpool bandwagon, but they had a bunch of Deadpool trades on sale at my local comic book store, and I picked up Deadpool versus Deadpool, and it was pretty damn amusing.
as long as you didn't pick up Deadpool kills the Marvel Universe again, you're all fine.
Yeah.
That was pretty bad. Oh, Zeus is back. He disappeared, but now he is returned. I can see him approaching his computer.
Excellent.
Is that all you got, Mike?
Yes, sir.
All right, Zeus, you're good to go. Mike shared his
All right,
stuff.
so yeah, speaking of the ship hitting an iceberg, we just hit a big iceberg in the fact that I had something I had to do that I forgot to do earlier. Anyways, so what I was saying was I had I got the Robot Spirits Pacific Rim Uprising Saber Athena figure.
Nice.
Also at Barnes and Noble. And
I've been
real
hearing good
quick,
things about those.
Yeah, they are very good. This is my favorite of the two that I have, but I am planning on getting more.
Alright.
Real quick, just something to put out there. If anyone is a teacher or knows a teacher and you have like an educator rewards account or whatever with Barnes & Noble, for every weekend in April, they're having 25% off everything for educators.
Oh, wow.
So instead of paying $30 for this, I paid like $25 with tax.
Nice. That's pretty good.
Yeah, and it's very good. It's worth $30, but I'm really glad that I got it for less.
Yeah, I've been hearing good things about those, though. So, I mean, either way.
And I live in California, so the tax here is kind of high. Before tax, it was like $22.50.
Oh,
Okay.
that's not
That is
bad.
kind of steep.
Well, I mean, the price isn't bad, but the tax is.
Yeah, my bad.
Yeah.
No,
That tax is-
I will
Whoa.
taxes.
I don't know how
Yeah,
you...
it's like 9% or something. Tax in California is bad, but everything else is pretty all right.
Yeah,
about
you're lagging a bit,
California.
Zeus. I think
We've
if
not
you shut off
started
your
any
camera, you'll be
wars
good.
recently. Yeah, that's fine.
Yeah, I think that might be what's making you lag.
No one needs to know that I'm not a robot. If I had my camera on, you'd see I was winking, but
You're secretly one of Mark Zuckerberg's lizard people.
Oh,
Hey.
the memes from that have been brilliant.
Yeah.
absolutely, I've loved that. Also,
been fun.
Aaron, I did not give you permission to reveal that I was a lizard person. Now I'm gonna have to kill you.
Oh no!
Mike,
If you can
I
find
borrow
me.
your machete?
Oh wow! So you can get his fingerprints all over it, so no one catches you. I
Yeah,
see.
because I don't have fingerprints. I got lizard scales.
Well then, we know what Zeus is doing in his free time. What's the saying? Not a
Laying
lot
on
of people
a
in California
big
have
rock.
basements.
No, not many people do. I've
I
only
feel
known
like you missed
one-
that reference. Anyone who saw the movie Zodiac got that.
Yeah.
I have not seen Zodiac, and we don't have a basement. I've only known one person my whole life in this part of California who's had a basement, and since then they've moved. So I don't know if they have a basement anymore. We haven't talked in years.
Oh, well, basements are basements. But what
So
did I
I've
get?
lost the only basement I know.
Well, I mean, there's not many anyways, so it's like one. Who can? I don't even know how many there are in California. It's probably not many though. It's probably like 1 in every 100 houses or something.
Yeah, because it's a bad idea because of all the earthquakes.
Exactly. But what did I get? I got this past week. What did I get that's new? I have to read all these still. I got Sonic the Hedgehog #2. Issue 1 was pretty good. Picked up Demigod #1. That's from a little while back. Exiles #1, which I haven't heard good things about, but like I said, I haven't read any of these yet. Domino #1. Avengers Shards of Infinity #1. Sideways #3. And The Immortal Men #1. And I don't think I've mentioned it on an episode before, but I did pick up a trade paperback of Infinity Gauntlet, and I'm reading through that for the first time. So.
Oh, actually, that reminds me. There was one other thing I got. I pre-ordered tickets for Infinity War.
Ooh. What time you going at?
I'm going the 29th at 3:50 because I'm going with friends. It's for my birthday.
Ooh, when's your birthday? So people can send
May
you stuff.
2nd. It's May 2nd, and I have an Amazon list on my Twitter.
Don't we all, though?
I mean, who doesn't?
Exactly.
It's my.
Does it ever work, though?
now.
Yeah, no. I remember around my birthday, I put it out. I put mine out like 2 weeks before my birthday. And like a couple days later, I got, on Valentine's Day, I got Roadburn. Jason Kirk sent me Roadburn on
nice.
Valentine's Day.
Oh, I know. Speaking of the RFC guys, I know XV has gotten stuff from his Amazon list.
Oh yeah,
before, and I think
constantly.
Rob too.
So.
Yeah.
But the last thing I grabbed today, I grabbed Justice League New Frontier on Blu-ray earlier while I was at Target. So.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna probably watch that tonight after the stream. I'll probably fall asleep watching it, but whatever. I said stream. I meant podcast. I'm on live stream so much nowadays. I don't even know the difference.
Well, it is more. This is more a stream of consciousness so far than an actual podcast. There's very, not to question your leadership skills, Captain
wow.
Aaron, but there's very much no actual
direction.
consistency. No direction. Absolutely.
Hey,
We're drifting aimlessly in a sea of thoughts.
Hey, there were 2 other people Eric could have put in charge, and he put me in charge. Let's just put it like that. I'm just the replacement captain for this week. He's busy doing whatever he's doing wherever he went, so. Because I know he's out of state or whatever, so. And he had a terrible trip, but. So we can get into the news now, if you want direction. So we can get into that. So, we have a lot of toy news. Eric put together the show notes. I edited them, but I left the toy news in just in case we want to talk about it. The first one is more stuff about the Apocalypse pictures in hand to see more scale stuff. Mm-hmm. So, I don't know if you guys want to take a look at that real quick, but...
That Apocalypse is pretty. I really like the metallic blue.
He's very small, though.
Yeah.
Like,
I mean, he's taller than that Thanos, but is that Sasquatch?
Yeah, Sasquatch on his right, and then he's very much shorter than the Juggernaut. I'd say at least half an inch, maybe.
Yeah, that is.
It's hard to tell when the figures are next to each other.
Like a Build-A-Figure.
Yeah, exactly. Like I was thinking that. Like Juggernaut was a Build-A-Figure, Sasquatch was a Build-A-Figure. That Thanos was originally a Build-A-Figure, and even like Death's Head 2 was supposed to be a Build-A-Figure, and he's taller than that. So.
Ooh, in this one picture, Rogue's face, the color of it looks a little too close to the yellow on that costume. It's kind
That's
of weird.
she's
Yes.
not part of this wave though, is she?
I have no idea. I'm just
Yeah.
commenting on the way this is lit.
Oh yeah, I got you. What is it? And I think a bit on the last episode we did. Eric made a comment that this Wolverine is just a recolored version of the brown one, but it doesn't look like that. He's got a different head sculpt.
Different head sculpt.
Different head sculpt. He doesn't look like he has the same body.
Yeah, he has different
Well,
arms as well.
He's like
Yeah, because
he's
you can
wider.
see you
Yeah.
can see the way they molded the veins right into his arms.
Yeah, he's
that's
very
actually
much different. They're the same height though. About the helmet, or not the helmet, the mask on Wolverine from this wave makes him a little taller.
Yeah, and it's a different mask.
Yeah.
I think the claws might be a little different. I can't tell.
Yeah, I
though.
think they might be. Psylocke is shorter than Rogue, if that means anything to anyone. Looks like a lot of this wave is shorter than the others.
Ooh, that means budgets. Budgets are bad.
Yeah, that might be what it means. I mean, Psylocke is definitely one of the weakest figures of this line.
Well, the thing
Oh.
is, if you're looking, I mean, I shouldn't have opened up my mouth, but it's just because of her costume. You can see the way her legs, like the ball joints on her legs, there's all that negative space.
Yeah. Whereas the
I think
others
that-
don't have that much negative space.
Yeah, I don't know if that's just a molding issue or if it's just more apparent because of the flesh tones.
Probably that second thing.
If I mean, I think there would have been better served to put some shorts on her.
Yeah. But
Some short shorts.
some
Yeah.
short shorts. Who wears short shorts? Psylocke wears short shorts.
What just happened?
I don't know what just happened. Let's just
Did
go
I-
with it.
Did I break Aaron?
Maybe. Probably not.
I like this Magneto though. Like just the face sculpt without the helmet on. That's kind of cool.
Yeah. Oh, wait. Oh, we're going to have to mention this because Eric clearly did not update this as of recent. Because this stuff is from like the 8th. This is some older news, but I'll bring it up when we get to the next topic, which is, I don't know if you guys want to go on to that. Have you said everything you need to say about this?
Yeah. I don't really collect the Marvel Legends, so this is kind of commenting on
Yeah.
stuff that I
I've gotten really into it recently. I ordered like a ton of Marvel Legends recently.
like. The only one I really want is that new Deadpool, and that's just because I like Deadpool.
Which one? There's like 5 different ones.
The red one from the newest wave. From the
I
Sasquatch
gotcha.
wave.
Oh, yeah. That wave looks good.
Now, have they actually made a movie, Marvel Legends Deadpool?
Do they have to?
Well, I mean, the costume was so spot on, but I was just sort of wondering.
They didn't make a movie line for that. They never make movie lines
Okay.
for the non-Marvel movies.
Oh wait, that's right, because the whole Disney, Marvel, Sony thing.
Yeah, but now that they own it, they might start doing it. So like next year, we could see New Mutants get a wave.
Yeah, I think the last time they did a Deadpool though was around the time of the movie. If that counts
Yeah.
for anything.
They might have. I'm not totally sure.
That was the X-Men wave with that Wolverine that everyone was looking for, right?
I think so. Wait, which one do you mean? Do you mean the Old Man Logan one or like a normal Wolverine?
No, it was like just an actual Wolverine. It was either last year or 2016.
Oh, I'm not sure then.
I think it was just called the X-Men wave. I can't even remember what the Build-A-Figure was.
I gotcha.
I'm gonna look this up real quick.
Go for it. But I'm gonna bring us on to the next topic, which is that Ant-Man and the Wasp toys hit retail apparently on the 8th. Someone in California, your neck of the woods.
Where in California though? Whittier?
Yeah, Whittier.
That's Northern California.
Yeah, they posted a picture of Ant-Man and the Wasp toys, and I wanted to bring up along with this that there was a astonishing Ant-Man and the Wasp pack slated for a release at Toys R Us as an exclusive, but BBTS picked it up, so that's also there. That's if you guys are on, for you watching or for you here on the show, you two, there it should be down in the more figure news and updates section at the bottom.
Actually, Whittier's not that far. It's like 43 minutes from where I am.
You gonna go looking?
It's a long drive to go looking
Yeah.
for a toy that I don't care about.
Yeah,
But yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, I think I might be changing up what we're looking at tonight because there is a bunch of other toy news that came out in the past like 24 hours. So, sorry, Eric.
Sorry, not sorry.
No, because these notes are from 5 days ago, so
Yeah.
like a lot of these articles are from 5 days ago. It's not that I don't want to talk about them. It's that there's a lot of other stuff we could talk about.
Okay. But just real quick, since we got a second, I like this SH Figure Arts Thanos. He looks pretty good.
Nice. Yeah, no, I saw that. Yeah, he looks good.
Nomad's dead inside.
This is from the show notes, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
The Spider-Man and the Iron Man look pretty good. I guess maybe
we can run through these pretty quick.
Yeah. I pretty much just ran through all of them. I don't.
It looks like Nomad doesn't have eyes. That's the thing.
Yeah, I think that
these still might be like earlier concept ones too, because Thanos seems to be lacking a lot of definition. These all seem to be lacking a lot of definition in them. Some of them.
Oh, there's an SH Figure Arts Ant-Man too.
Yeah, that got showed off. The link.
I don't even like the SH Figure Arts, but I kind of want this now. It just looks really, really good.
Eric put a link in there to the original showing off of it, but they recently showed off that. I don't know if it's another version or if it's this one in general. It's going to come with an ant that Ant-Man can ride.
That's the one I'm looking at.
Oh, is it? All right, yeah. It's going to come with an ant that he can ride.
Shown.
All right, gotcha. And then if anyone else is interested in toy news with all these crazy, like, out there ones like SH Figure Arts and stuff, for the cheaper side of things, over at the Disney store, they're doing toy box versions of some of the heroes now, which is, like, from Disney Infinity. So I might grab that. Cool. It looks dope, so.
Hey, are these just, like, statues? The fourth one?
The C2E2 stuff? Yeah, that's what it looks like. I kind of want that Dazzler statue, though. Not gonna lie.
I don't much care for statues.
I don't really either.
Can't do anything with them.
That Rogue one also looks kind of nice.
What is that?
She's in Savage Land?
Like it's got a...
Yeah, it's Savage Land Rogue. I actually have the cover where she's dressed like that with Magneto.
Okay, who's this Deadpool this is like Deadpool, but not, and it's also not the Gwenpool one, with the ponytail. Who's that?
Lady Deadpool.
Lady Deadpool. Sure.
That's literally her name. Her name is literally Lady Deadpool.
Wow, that was so obvious. I didn't think of it. That's kind of neat, I guess. I don't know. Still not super into the whole statue thing.
What are you gonna do? But,
not buying.
That's really it for the toy news, I'd say. Though I think there are some reviews out of the Silver Surfer, so there might be stuff of that in hand somewhere.
Actually, if we're talking toy news and we're talking superhero stuff, real quick, this is something that I'm pretty sure not a lot of people are going to care about. There was a poster recently for like the Lego Marvel superheroes.
Yeah.
It showed off a couple figures that we haven't seen yet, like a Bucky, Wong, and a new machine. So there's a chance we're going to be getting another set with those. Just thought I'd throw that out there.
All right, that's pretty cool.
Any of two people who are
I suddenly get the new video game.
Oh yeah, that looks fun. I've been meaning to get it, but also I don't have a PS4, and my brother uses his Switch a lot. So
it's not just on PS4, so I mean.
I know, but
that's just.
The other options I have are the Nintendo Switch, which my brother uses consistently.
Yeah.
An Xbox One, which I don't own, or PC, which I don't like doing because I can't connect my controller.
Huh, that's weird.
I'm trying to use a PS3 controller.
Yeah, you have to download something for that.
I tried doing that, and it didn't really work.
Well, anyways, on to the next...
I just found the gun for my Power of the Prime Sludge.
Oh, there you go. I still need to get some of the newer figures. But on to the next bit of news that I put in there. Spider-Man PS4 pics came out of the other costumes we're getting. As well, we got a release date, which I can't remember off the top of my head, so I'm going to look that up real quick. Because I remembered it like an hour ago, and now I've forgotten. So I don't know if you guys want to... You said you don't have a PS4, so you can't get that, but the game's coming out September 7th. But I thought I'd mention it since a lot of people are really into it.
The one costume I'm seeing from the link the first link
put two in there, yeah.
Yeah, that's kind of neat.
Yeah, they're doing Spider-Punk, and Iron Spider got leaked. So
is that what this other one is?
Yeah, they're doing Avengers Infinity War Iron Spider, so...
So yeah, that's a pre-order bonus. These look nice, but it's video game stuff, and I don't own a console to play these games.
Yeah.
So I guess it's cool for the people who do.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know if you've heard much about it, but like they revealed other missions as well. Like there's going to be missions where you take pictures. There's like places you can take selfies as Spider-Man. They're
All I
going
know
like all
about
out with the
Spider-Man
world.
video games is they have a track record for not being great.
No, a lot of people like them more than the movies, at least.
Well, yeah, but when you're comparing a mediocre video game to the Amazing Spider-Man 2 or
That's
Spider-Man
true.
3 for that matter, you know, it's no competition.
That is,
But I mean,
very
just in
true.
terms of like standalone as their own video games, I've heard they're not particularly great.
I mean, I've heard some of the older ones are decent, like Spider-Man 3 and all that, but that
Mhm.
like I've heard those ones were fun for the time, so I don't really know.
But like
I've never played
the
them.
one that had Kingpin in it that came out with Amazing Spider-Man 2 or whatever, I heard was kind of bad.
Ah, well, who even knows at this point?
I
Spider-Man
don't
games
know.
are hit and miss, but this one's being made by people who make actually good games, so
Well, and it seems like they went through the whole arc. They went down the Arkham Asylum route, where you go through the game and you have that whole open world roaming type of thing going on. But it seems like the way they give you side missions where you have to play as Mary Jane, or Spider-Man is going to sell photos or whatnot. It seems like they're kind of emulating what they did in Arkham Asylum, just by giving you those side missions, and I think that's going to add a lot to the game.
yeah.
Okay, you literally just described like a quarter of the missions in Lego Marvel Superheroes.
Lego Marvel Superheroes is fun though. I love that game.
I know, it's so good. I still haven't 100%ed it. I've got some of the races I still have to do, but I suck at
Those are
especially
difficult,
the
man.
Especially the flying ones.
Yeah, those are.
How are you supposed to have that much control?
I tried doing the one, or I did the one with Hawkeye's little jet thing. That was. It's a struggle.
And those are supposed to be kids' games.
Yeah, that's the thing. They're
How
supposed to
are
be kids'
kids
games, but they are
supposed to-
hard.
How are kids supposed to finish those when a 17-year-old and whatever Aaron is can't finish them?
Whatever Aaron is.
I don't know how old you are. I don't want to make assumptions.
Yeah, no, it's fine.
Or is it just because we're getting old and we're sucking at video games?
Could be.
I've always sucked at video games.
That's the thing. No, those games are genuinely difficult at times.
Yeah.
So, I did add in one more link into the show notes. I don't know if you guys want to look at it, but they revealed a new Infinity War poster.
Ooh. Yeah, I think I... Wait, when was this? Was this recently, or...?
This was the 13th, so today. This is like a new 3D poster. Like a real 3D one.
No, I haven't seen this yet. It looks kind of like the other one, but maybe that's just because all posters look the same.
I mean, they also just keep using the same like PNG images and slapping them on a poster.
Mm-hmm.
So
it kind of... Okay, actually it kind of looks like the poster for The Force Awakens.
yeah, no, I see that too. That was my first thought.
Yeah, the way it's laid out.
I think that's just become the ensemble cast poster is, big focus character in the middle, important characters up top, then everyone else gets spread out throughout. And I thought for a second that was Hawkeye, but that's just Star-Lord again.
Yeah, he seems to be missing his facial hair.
Yeah, maybe it's the resolution. Maybe it was taken before he had the mustache.
I'm surprised at this point, and maybe I missed it, that they haven't done a poster themed like the original Infinity Gauntlet cover. With the whole, gauntlet and the shining...
You gotta put Robert Downey Jr.'s face... Yeah. You gotta put Robert Downey Jr.'s face on the poster to sell tickets,
Well,
no one goes to see
he could be on the poster for that.
superheroes in this...
Yeah. Who goes to see
they
superheroes?
go to see Robert Downey Jr. doing whatever he does.
The thing that's interesting about this poster, though, is that with Thanos, it only shows him with 2 of the Infinity Stones. He doesn't have any others.
In pretty much all the promotional material, hasn't he only had the 2?
I don't know. I've never really looked at it. I didn't notice it until now. Which I think maybe they could wait to do the Infinity Gauntlet poster until next movie. So.
Because, everything I've seen is it's just those 2, and he's not had any, even in just the trailers.
Yeah.
Because those are the only 2 that we know the location of, or not that we know the location of, but that we know he knows the location of.
Yeah, so the purple one is the one from Guardians of the Galaxy, right? With Ronan. And the blue one is the one from the Tesseract.
Yeah, that's
right. Where is the...
we see him. Yeah, don't we see him break it open?
Yeah, we see Loki giving it to him.
Yeah, I thought we saw him crush it.
I don't know. I don't remember. There's been so many stuff. There's been so much stuff out about that. I don't even remember what's from what anymore.
Yeah. I think I remember seeing that though.
Yeah.
Yeah, those are the only 2 stones we've seen him with this whole time. I heard, like, someone on Instagram I was talking to said at some point he had the Soul Stone in the gauntlet, but I don't remember seeing that.
Yeah, honestly, there's so much stuff in the background of those trailers that maybe he did and we just didn't notice.
I don't know. I watch a lot of the Mr. Sunday Movies videos where he, like, breaks down the trailers. So
he always does
great stuff.
If he misses
it, I miss it.
Yeah, exactly. So that's that for like news stuff. So we can get into some discussion. Eric wanted us to discuss something, but you have new stuff?
Real quick. It was just while we're on the subject of the Infinity Gauntlet. Where do we all think that the Soul Stone is?
Isn't it in Vision's mind?
No, that's the Mind Stone.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
Oh,
that's
yeah.
The Mind
What stones have we seen and where have they been?
We've seen literally every one but that one.
A lot of people think Wakanda.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. I'm thinking it was in the meteor, and that's how they're all able to be connected to, like, the spirit realm.
Yeah. Do you think it's all right to talk about Infinity spoilers, or not Infinity spoilers, Black Panther spoilers?
I mean, the movie's
been out for a while.
Yeah.
A month, so it's probably
But
fine.
I was going to say, I heard people theorizing that what if they find the soul... Like, because a lot of people want Claw to come back, so people were like, what if they use the Soul Stone to bring him back to life? And I'm like, would that even work?
Who knows? We don't know the rules of the Soul Stone. We haven't seen it at all.
Yeah, exactly. Unless Thanos already has it.
Unless he does, yeah.
Maybe that's his connection to death if it's there.
Maybe. But yeah, since we haven't seen it, and this is the movies, and they don't necessarily adapt everything from the comics exactly the way it's, there's a chance that maybe they could use it to do that, but also there's a chance that they couldn't, because who knows at this point. What's
interesting is that I think they mentioned this a while ago. I read this in a couple places that they're not revealing Thanos' backstory in this movie. But like Thanos, he's going to be like the main person for this movie. Like he's going to be not the protagonist, but like the main character in a way. That's what I read somewhere, and I thought that was interesting.
I heard that somewhere, also.
I thought that was interesting. A lot of people were up in arms about that because they're like, oh, they're not going to do the whole death thing, blah blah blah. It's like, well, I mean, there's the next movie as well.
Well, yeah.
Which also, doesn't that one maybe have something to do with time travel?
Yeah, that's what a lot of people are theorizing as well. Now, there's a lot of fuel to the fire for the New Mutants movie is going to be in, and Dark Phoenix is going to be in the MCU because they pushed them back a year and a half.
Yeah, but even a year and a half, especially since I don't think that the deal has gone all the way through.
Yeah, it wouldn't be enough. But
it wouldn't be. They'd still have to take time, and it's Marvel. They're not just going to thrust these pre-established characters into their world. They're going to take time to set them up, who they are, and what they,
Yeah. My main concern is that New Mutants is never going to be made. Because that movie looked so good when that trailer came out.
Yeah, it did. I was legitimately interested in it, and I don't really... After Logan, I don't really care that much about the X-Men movies.
Yeah, I mean, not a lot of the X-Men movies afterwards. What were the movies after Logan? Was it just X-Men Apocalypse?
Yeah, and then Deadpool 2 is coming out this year.
And that hasn't been getting good reviews, apparently.
I don't know, but who knows? I ended up liking Pacific Rim. I like the second Kingsman. There's a chance I'll end up liking this too.
You're just filled with hot takes today, man.
Yes, I am.
What is it? But I say we get on to our discussion topics. I added this one in because I thought it was worth discussing. The Teen Titans costumes that came out. So,
oh, yeah.
I say first we look at the second link, then we look at the first link. I should have reordered them, but let's look at the Beast Boy Raven one first, I say.
Sure, absolutely.
So, there are better pictures out there of them. Like, there is a better picture from a different angle, but that is the one that everyone saw. So
okay, hold on. Wait, no. Why is the second... Okay, I just clicked on the complete wrong link then. Because I clicked on the one that was under Incredibles trailer, and that
No, not that one.
Yeah, but also that one took me to Hasbro announces new 6-inch Marvel Legends Avengers Infinity War store exclusive 2-packs.
Yeah, because Eric wanted us to talk about the TRU stuff. For some reason, he put the headers underneath the links, not on top. I don't know.
Yeah, all right. No, so I've seen the picture briefly on Instagram, I think, and
yeah.
I mean, yeah, I like the jacket Beast Boy has, and it's also another thing is this is probably just because this wasn't taken during filming, but Raven looks a little bit drunk.
I mean, there are other pictures out there of them from a better angle. But I mean, I wanted to discuss the costumes more. Like the other pictures are just better angles of the actors, not of the actual costumes.
Mm-hmm.
So, but I mean, there are pictures of them with Beast Boy with the jacket off. But either way, he still has that red and white underneath.
Yeah, I like that. That's good.
Yeah, I see. My thing is, a lot of people are comparing it to the Teen Titans cartoon, which I feel is the problem there because they're going Changeling, they're not going Beast Boy. Yeah, they're calling him Beast Boy, but they're going the Changeling outfit, which I thought was interesting. So,
well, isn't that the one they used in? Was it Justice League versus Teen Titans? Was that the comic that came out?
I'm not sure. I mean, they did a few Teen Titans movies with him. I'm not sure which outfit they used in there.
I think in the Justice League vs. Teen Titans one that came out a year or so ago.
Yeah, they used the Changeling colors. Yeah. Yep. They used red, white, and black.
I think maybe it's just they're
trying to stay consistent.
Yeah, they're trying to stay consistent, and so is that the first costume he had?
Yeah, Changeling was the first costume he had.
Yeah, so I think they're maybe going with that. Maybe at some point down the line he'll get the one from the cartoon.
Maybe because the Doom Patrol is in the show. We know that.
Yeah.
So Raven's costume is like hit or miss for me. I mean, she could have the hood down, so we don't know if she has a hood. That's the
also
thing.
The other thing is, I'm assuming just because Beast Boy, whatever the actor's name is, he's wearing a heavy jacket over.
Yeah,
his
they're
costume.
outside. This is like in between filming.
I'm assuming she's wearing one too, and since it's about the same color as the rest of her costume, you can't really see it that well.
Yeah, I think a lot of people had a problem with how they styled the hair. Which, I mean, doesn't really matter if she has the hood up, but it definitely doesn't look good how they did it.
Yeah, that also could be the wind.
Yeah, I mean, you can look at it, though, and see that they put, like, in really weird purple highlights.
Yes.
Yeah, well, that's another thing that I think is maybe with that they're trying to, like, emulate the cartoon, because with that, some of the way that they would have her move, sometimes she'd have, like, the purple in her hair, which I think was supposed to be, like, light reflecting off of it or something.
Yeah. I mean, her hair is purple, I think. I don't know.
Yeah.
I can't remember anymore.
I thought it wasn't. I mean, maybe it just depends on the artist, but
yeah.
I thought her hair was purple in the comics.
I think it depends on the artist a lot, to be honst. Most of the time, it's purple, though.
I've not read any of the. Yeah, I've not read any of the Teen Titans comics. My knowledge comes off of the original show and the 2 minutes I've caught of Teen Titans Go when I was flipping through the channels.
Yeah, but, I mean, their costumes are, like, pretty decent. I think the next one is where everything kind of, like, falls apart.
Mm-hmm.
Which is the Starfire one.
Yeah, and supposedly that's not going to be the final costume.
I hope it's not.
The thing is, because you look at her... I'm sorry. No, it's just she's wearing the fur coat, she's got the boots, she's got a purse, or she's carrying a purse. I'm just wondering if they're filming a scene where she's maybe going to a club or a restaurant or a bar or whatever when they filmed that. And I mean, I know you can't do what you did in the comics with Starfire with regards to her costume.
Yeah, because like, how would that all stay together?
Well, I mean, she's also got a new one that's like a full bodysuit. Her newer one's a full bodysuit. And from her like newer comic, she had a solo comic where it was like. It was kind of... It wasn't a full bodysuit, but it, like, covered a lot more than it did in the original comics. It was more like the Teen Titans cartoon.
Yeah, I was going to say they could also go with the Teen Titans cartoon one where it's
and then the one in the new movies, like the new animated movies, is a full bodysuit. Like, it's pretty much a full bodysuit except for, like, where, like, some parts of the waist, basically. Yeah. So they could have combined aspects from multiple.
Yeah, you can kind of see it in that picture at the top of the article.
Yeah, they could have combined a couple ones to make it, like, a bit more, like, you know, less unreasonable, like, cover up the chest area and stuff, because, you know, a lot of people probably don't want that in theirs or something. Like, they probably wouldn't have wanted that with the costume, so they could have combined, like, her newer comic one with the physics of that. Yeah, exactly. It wouldn't have...
Like, how is that all going to hold on? I barely understand how it works in the comics.
Well, I mean, even if they super glued it on, however, you know, what?
Don't put super glue on a person's skin. That's a really bad idea, Mike.
Well, actually, that's how that super glue was actually invented as a replacement for stitches. Believe it or not.
I believe it.
Yeah, well, you wouldn't stitch a costume to a person either.
Oh no, but the point is, I mean, hypothetically, like, or if you went CGI with the whole costume, I just think that generally what we see in the comics from her, it's just too revealing for a TV show.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, that. I just like
I mean, this is also
about...
for their streaming service as well. That's the thing. This is behind a paywall.
I just like complaining about stupid things like the physics of an impossible costume.
Yeah. Oh. I think my main problem when it came down to it was the hair.
Yeah.
Because they made it pink. Starfire's hair isn't pink unless you watch Teen Titans Go. And if they're going for Teen Titans Go with the hair, that's their mistake right there.
Absolutely. Don't do anything Teen Titans Go. Although also everything looks a little bit, just the way this picture is taken, everything looks a little cooler. And it's not so much neutral, so maybe it's just the way everything, the way it was outside that day. Like maybe. There were a lot of, it was cloudy. Yeah. I don't know.
So I'm just not convinced that this is her final costume that she's going to use actually to
I don't think
battle.
No, I mean probably not. That doesn't look like the kind of costume you'd want to fight in, especially if you're carrying around a metallic purple purse, you know.
Yeah.
Now, unless they're replacing her powers with purse whack, you know.
she's Aunt May.
Yes. Yes, absolutely.
Well, especially with how close they've stood to the comics with a couple of the other costumes we've seen, like Beast Boy and Robin.
Oh, and Hawk and Dove as well.
Costume?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's been revealed. They revealed that officially. I can try and find it for you.
Oh yeah,
quick.
No, I remember seeing it now. Never mind.
Yeah, and they did Hawk and Dove as well. So
yeah.
And they all looked good. I think once we see official pictures of their costumes, they'll look better. But it's like, this show's supposed to be out by the end of the year, and we got those pictures last year. So why haven't we seen official pictures of these? You know what I mean?
I have no idea. Maybe they're waiting to drop that.
Maybe. I mean, now would have been the perfect time.
Sure.
But
I mean, maybe have they even officially announced when the streaming service is dropping?
They just said, I think, sometime in like fall.
Yeah, so maybe that's when they're gonna release official pictures.
Maybe, because we still haven't even gotten much for Young Justice Season 3. We just got like character designs for that.
Yeah.
And nothing else since. So we'll have to see where all that goes. I honestly, I don't think the show is going to be that bad. You know?
It's probably going to be like a CW type show, but not on the CW.
Yeah, and I actually want to discuss the TV shows while we're here tonight as well. Because there's some stuff
I'm
going
not caught up on any of them, and I don't care if any spoilers are said, so go ahead.
Oh, well, I wasn't going to talk spoilers, but I was just going to say, if you're not watching Krypton, you should watch Krypton.
I've heard that one's only okay.
No, it's really good.
Does it get better?
I mean, I'm one episode behind, and there's only 4 episodes out, and the first 3 are pretty damn good. So
I've heard people didn't really like the first episode.
It might just be the first episode then, because the second and third one were pretty good. And I mean, me and my dad tend to we don't disagree on a lot of stuff, but we disagree on enough stuff with TV shows that when we agree it's good, it usually means it's pretty decent. Because my dad's kind of I don't want to waste my time watching this. Aaron, you can waste your time watching it. That's his kind of mentality. So it's when he sits down and watches it for the 2 hours, I'm like, oh yeah, it's probably a decent show then.
The one thing I can say about Krypton from the complaints that I've read and why people don't like it, it just sounds like they didn't understand what it was initially going into it, and they had certain expectations.
No, it's the same thing with what people thought about Gotham when that first started.
Yeah. Well, and this isn't even a Superman origin story either, kind of like Gotham is. This is Superman's ancestors.
Mm-hmm.
So, and it's been really good. The main villain is Brainiac, so it's Brainiac is going to Adam Strange shows up and he's like, oh, he went back in time, but whenever Brainiac shows up, it doesn't seem like he did. I don't know, but essentially Adam Strange went back in time to one of Superman's ancestors to tell them we have to stop Brainiac, otherwise Superman will disappear for good, and that will kill more people than it saves. So there's a constant time clock going, which is Superman's cape. Superman's cape is disappearing into space-time. So as that disappears, they lose more and more time.
So it's like Marty McFly in that picture in Back to the Future.
Yeah.
It's been pretty good. I mean, there is some stuff from but it's been pretty fun. So
you guys been watching Legion?
I need to. So
I'm behind an episode on that too, but the premiere was fantastic.
A lot of people are saying it's like one of the best shows on TV right now.
It is. It really is great.
I'm a horrible geek. I missed that.
Yeah, I need to watch it. I don't have FX, so I have to find it somewhere else.
No, but it's really good.
Oh yeah, I've watched the first couple episodes.
It's weird, and it's like, it's super weird, and if you don't like getting into the kind of weird stuff, you're probably not going to like it. But if you can get behind parts of the episode where it's randomly like 3 women with mustaches talking for one man with a laundry basket on his head, or David randomly breaking into a cover of White Rabbit by Jefferson Airplane, you're going to love it.
I'm sold.
I think with how weird that show is, that would have been great for New Mutants to come out like still here, because there's that market for that. That's why I was so excited for New Mutants, was because we had Legion, which was weird, and I was digging that, and then New Mutants came out, and it was like, oh, this is like literally a horror X-Men movie. It's gonna be weird. I liked,
like, before Fox sold all of their assets to Disney, I liked the direction they were going after Logan, where it was, we're gonna do the superhero movie, but it's like the superhero movie and another genre. So with Logan, it was like the superhero Western, or with New Mutants, it's the superhero horror movie. The idea of doing that. I think that's a really good direction to take superhero movies in general.
And I'm just scared for what's going to happen to those assets when they go to Marvel, because I had this discussion with some other people the other night, and this goes for the TV shows as well. And the Marvel TV shows are doing a lot better than the movies, in my opinion, with breaking the formula. And it's not that we're tired of the superhero genre. It's that we're tired of the Marvel genre.
Yeah, that's why I liked Guardians of the Galaxy and Thor Ragnarok more than like a bunch of other Guardians.
Despite what you say about Thor Ragnarok being a Thor movie or whatever, it's a good movie that breaks the mold for Marvel, and that's the thing.
Because I love Taika Waititi. He's like one of my favorite directors. Because I think he's hilarious.
Yeah, but that's what these TV shows are doing, though. They're like really breaking the mold with stuff. Like Legends of Tomorrow, I was telling Mike, like, they just stopped caring this season. Like, they truly did. They just threw all caution to the wind, and we're just like, yeah, let's do it. And it has been their best season thus far, I'd say.
Oh, I've heard it. I've heard it gets weird.
Oh, no, it definitely gets weird. Constantine shows up like 5 times in this season, so it gets weird.
Oh, man, that sounds so good. I missed that show, too. Constantine was great.
Well, he's voicing, whenever it's coming out, he's voicing the animated version.
I heard, yeah. Oh, and like, a lot, even with like the DC shows that are not the CW ones, except for apparently Legends, which I need to be watching, I really like Preacher, because I think that's a lot of fun.
I've heard good things about that. I didn't finish the first season. I just fall off of these shows so much without meaning to.
It's very different. The second season's hilarious. The second season opens with a car chase to Come On Eileen by Dexys Midnight. It's fantastic. It's a great show, and I miss it, and I can't wait for the next season.
Are they doing a 3rd season?
Yeah, they are.
All right.
They didn't finish the arc. They didn't even finish the arc that they set up in season 2.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah.
Then Gotham, I heard, is getting crazy too with the Joker and stuff.
I actually haven't been caught up on Gotham since the mid-season finale, but even before then, I really liked it because it was leaning a lot more into like, hey, this is a comic book thing, so we can get a little fun with it. Like,
I haven't really watched the show recently because I know they brought Solomon Grundy on, right?
Yeah, or like they had an episode with, I don't remember his name, but he was like this one character from the comics who's like, I want to say his name was Overkill or something stupid like that. And like watching it, knowing nothing about the character, I could tell that he was like the most 90s ass character that they could have used. Because he's got like all the guns, he's wearing the leather with the belts across his chest.
Sounds like a Rob Liefeld character.
It did. It was very much like a Liefeld character. It was hilarious that they just brought him in. It was, I really wish I was staying up to date on that because it's been really good.
Yeah, I think
the only real problem I have with it is like the stuff with Bruce Wayne's not super interesting. I wish it was more just about.
He's always been the least interesting character on that show, I feel.
Yeah. So. Absolutely no. I would not disagree with you there.
And I don't think it's the actor. I think it's the writing.
Yeah.
Well, do you think they do that deliberately to try to move the focus away from Bruce?
I mean, maybe. This whole season, it's been like one episode they'll ignore him completely, and then one episode they'll have him in for maybe a grand total 10, 15 minutes out of a 44-minute show.
I think it's always just been more of a Jim Gordon show, though, and that's the thing.
It is, absolutely.
Everyone treats it as a Batman origin story, but I think it's more like a Jim Gordon origin story than anything.
It is, and I it's very good, and I need to get caught up on it again.
Remember when everyone hated that show at first, though? Like,
yeah.
That's what's interesting about it. Like, as these shows go on and start doing more out there things, they've been getting better. Like, the thing with some of the CW shows is they keep remaining the same. Arrow and Flash keep doing the same damn thing constantly. But then you have, like, other shows with, like I said, with Legends. This season, they just stopped caring. I think they even said they're throwing the rest of their budget into the finale. Like, they're throwing, like, tons of money into the finale for Legends. Even though it's not, like, a series finale. It's just a season finale. They're just, like, they made it a point to say, yeah, we're taking every bit of money we have left and just shoving it into the finale.
Did the most recent episode have, like, some weird blue bear thing that was a god of destruction?
Yes. That is literally how, like, they fought the villain of the season. They had to manifest something. It was like the Stay Puft Marshmallow Man scene. Like, think of your destroyer. They had to think of their protector, and that's what happened.
Oh my god.
They, like, it's been ridiculous. There's been, like, references like crazy. There's been jokes like crazy. And it's not like jokes that you hate. Like, they build good stuff with these characters. Like, there's an entire episode where Rip is trying to get Wally to join the team because Wally left Flash and he joined Legends. And so he's been in China, like, soul searching, and Rip shows up, and he's like, oh, blah, blah, blah. And Wally's like, you know, I've just been living my life 1/4 mile at a time. And Rip goes, oh, was that what one of your speedster buddies told you? And he goes, nah, Dominic Toretto, Fast and Furious. And, like, the reference just goes, like, straight over Rip's head. And then, like, Rip makes a comment about how Wally has a ton of versions of Careless Whisper on his phone. And then it immediately cuts to them drunk in Tokyo in 1992, karaoke Careless Whisper. Like, they've just gone balls to the wall on this show, and it's great.
I should start watching. This sounds hilarious.
Like, it's nice to watch some of the previous seasons, because some of it is referenced in this, and you'll see where Rip's character goes. And where the other characters go. But it's definitely, like, this season is really worth watching.
I didn't even finish the first season, because I thought it was just kind of mediocre.
It gets better in the second and then really good in third. Like, they really just, like, stopped carrying this season, man. Like, they went to, like, an alternate Earth for the crossover they did with Arrow, and, like, that had repercussions on Legends and stuff. Like, it was just crazy everything they've done. They used the time travel to their advantage.
This year's crossover was the one with the aliens, right?
No, this year was the one with the Nazis.
Yeah.
Nazis, wait.
Yeah, with Earth X.
Hold on. I'm really not caught up.
You are really behind.
Yeah, because the last one I remember was the one with the aliens.
They do reference that, though, in this season of Legends, because they have to save a baby one of them. And
it was
so, like...
The Dominators, right? That's what it was. It was like a big 4-show crossover.
Yeah, that was last season's crossover, I think.
Yeah, for a bunch of the episodes, though, in this season, they have to go and, like, save younger versions of themselves or save stuff that's going to affect them. So, like, there's an episode where they go to Vietnam and Rory talks with his dad. He always hated his dad, but he, like, spoke to his dad and, like, helped change who his dad was going to be so he would be a better father and stuff. And then, like, there's a episode where a baby Dominator becomes friends with young Ray. And, like, it's just a straight-up E.T. parody. Like, it's great. They even do, like, the whole bicycle over the moon thing with it. Like, it is ridiculous this season.
Oh, wow. We've talked a lot about this from just going off of the Teen Titans show.
Yeah, because it shows how good the shows are.
Yeah, the shows have been really good.
That's what I'm saying. Teen Titans has a lot to live up to, I'd say, especially since it's on the streaming service and behind the paywall, unlike the other shows.
Oh, and, like, a month and a half ago, I finally finished The Punisher, and I thought that was pretty good, too.
Yeah.
Don't have much to say about it, just want to throw it in there.
I need to finish Jessica Jones season 2, but...
I'm only on, like, the 8th or 9th episode.
I didn't even finish the first one.
Oh.
But, yeah,
it gets weird.
Yeah, that's what I've heard. Especially, I've seen the clips of, like, the dude running around and her trying to chase him and stuff. Yeah. And it just looks ridiculous.
It is. It's still fun. It's not quite as good as the first season so far.
Yeah. I mean, I think what we should get from this conversation, though, with the Teen Titans thing, going back to that, is that it should not care, really. Like, it should care somewhat, but it shouldn't totally, because it's a Teen Titans show. It should be fun. It should be quirky. It should just be out there. It's the Teen Titans. One of their main villains is literally, like, a demon god, like, who is the father of one of their teammates. You could do so much crazy stuff with that.
So it's good, too, because they got a range of villains from, like, demon father to brain in a jar.
Exactly. Yeah. And my main fear is that they're not going to utilize it well.
Yeah, they could absolutely get weird with it, and I hope they do. But it probably won't be for, like, a season, because...
If it gets past one season.
Yeah. It tends to take a while for some of these shows to get weird, unless they're confident in what they're doing when they go in, like Legion.
Yeah.
Legion's been weird since day one.
But the thing is, when you have a character like Starfire and another character like Raven, those are pretty, weird to begin with. And I don't think I think they, going with a weird villain, I think they got nothing to lose. I almost think they sort of have to.
I mean, like, they could do the whole, who was it that worked alongside the Brain?
Wasn't it like a gorilla of some kind?
It wasn't Grodd.
It was just some
other... wasn't that Ultra Humanite?
Ultra Humanite. That, I think, was it.
That might have been their version of Humanite in that cartoon, yeah. But, like, they could do so much stuff. They don't even have to do, like, the League of Villains like they did in the cartoon. But they could take some of those villains from there, because a lot of those were, like, cartoon original villains. And What? Sorry.
Was Mammoth the cartoon original, or?
Was who?
Mammoth.
No, I don't believe so. The Hive stuff wasn't as much. I'm not sure. Honestly, I'd have to look into a lot of it. Brother Blood wasn't, and I hope they don't do Brother Blood. Brother Blood's a fine storyline, but I just don't want them to do that considering they just made a cartoon movie about it, which a lot of people didn't like, but I personally liked, because it was funny.
If they do Brother Blood, they should get weird with it instead of having
they should.
They
got weird with it in the cartoon, too, though. Like, they definitely did.
Because he had, like, magic powers and all that.
Yeah. What I would like to see them do is, I mean, they could do the Terra storyline if they want to, but then they'd have to bring in Deathstroke. But, like, if they're not going for a full-on, like, story and they just did, like, episodic things, I think it would be interesting. And they don't even have to do it this season, but the character Mad Mod?
Sounds familiar.
He was the British dude who hypnotized them.
Oh, yeah.
It was a very, like, Clockwork Orange episode. The guy who voiced him was the actor for the guy who played the main character in Clockwork Orange. So if they did something with him and brought in that actor, that'd be kind of cool. Like, if they did stuff like that, I thought that... Because they do that with, like, Flash and stuff, where they bring in actors of the older versions of the heroes.
Yeah.
Or the villains. Like, they had Mark Hamill come back as the Trickster. Like, I think it's pretty cool if they did something like that. It'd be interesting to see. And they could definitely do it.
You know what they should do? Have the first season's villain be Dr. Light.
That'd be an interesting one.
Because he's a weird villain. He doesn't do... I don't know how much his powers are in terms of being out there. But it'd be weird to start with that. And I think they could do a lot with that instead of just doing the typical, ultra powerful villain. It's just, this dude can turn on light bulbs with his mind, or whatever it is he does.
I mean, I think it'd be interesting if they did the Jericho as a villain storyline. You'd need Slade for that, but you don't really need Slade. You could hint at Slade.
I just sort of wonder, because we're almost treading into that territory, I think, where between, like, for instance, Marvel and Fox with the whole Quicksilver and Scarlet Witch situation, with which studio had the rights to which characters.
Yeah. And
I wonder with some of the villains, being villains for CW characters or characters on the CW network, and this sort of being its own thing, I
think they can utilize a lot
legalities.
Because it's straight from DC, so.
I'd hope so.
The other thing also is, and I hate myself for knowing this, I hate myself for seeing the Justice League at all, because I ended up not liking that movie.
You and a lot of people.
Deathstroke also exists in the DC Extended Universe.
Yeah,
so.
But I think they're keeping this separate, and that's the thing.
Yeah, but also the reason that they ended up not using him so much in the later seasons of Arrow, and also why they ended up killing off the Suicide Squad, was because they have
that episode was great, to be honest, though.
It's because executives tend to think, oh, the general audience is not that smart, and they won't get that that's a different character from the one that's in the movies and the one that's in the TV shows.
Yeah, even though they didn't have Harley Quinn or anything in the TV show, and Deadshot was a completely different skin color from movie to TV.
But Harley Quinn originally was supposed to be. That
Yeah,
was
she
her who
was.
was in the cell. Was like, hey, if you guys need some help, I'm a licensed psychiatrist, and she was originally supposed to have like a bigger role.
But they changed her out for Cupid, I think. So
Yeah, they had to cut her out because
you're not legalities, but
DC
stuff in the movies.
executives, and they couldn't put her in because she's a Batman character and because they were doing the Suicide Squad movie.
I mean, let's be real though. Arrow was like a Batman story for a couple seasons with the Ra's al Ghul stuff.
Absolutely, and that was like one of my least favorite.
That's my
parts of it.
one fear with the tie-in show as well, is that they'll pick up storylines from other stuff and not do their own.
Yeah,
Because that seems to be the theme with a lot of the TV shows, is that they'll pick up themes from other series and not do their own. Kind of like Arrow did for a bit. Flash kind of did that, but not much. I mean,
they kind of did. They did mostly Flash stuff, but I think at some point didn't they do stuff that was like Wally West Flash instead of doing the Barry Allen?
which was what I kind of like. They did Zoom, and not Professor Zoom, because that was Thawne. Then they had Zoom, and I was like, well, they could have done like, he's a Wally villain, and it's fine that they make him a Wally villain. They really changed him up though. They really changed how he worked, and that was the thing. And that's why, like, it was kind of just like, oh, well, I guess it doesn't matter. And then they made him the Black Flash, which was weird. But,
yeah,
I don't know. I mean, there are some things you can do. I think what Titans needs to know is that you can do things that are out there and work, and do things that are out there and not work. Kind of like the Zoom becoming the Black Flash. That was out there and it didn't really work, in my opinion. But then you have, like, Legends, where they literally just, like, they just took the script and chucked it out the window and went for it. Like, they jumped the shark like 20 times this season.
Whatever his name was.
Bebo.
Ebo.
There was an episode where they go back in time to Leif Erikson's days, and they have a Bebo doll, and they think it's a god. Like, it is a running gag throughout the show that Bebo is a thing. Like, I don't know where they came up with it, but, like, it is just a thing they did. They make a joke about it. There's, like, an episode where they fight Blackbeard and stuff. And
yeah, so basically just do what Legends did this season, I guess.
Just stop caring and have fun with it. And I think that's what makes a good Teen Titans show. Like, you can see with the original Teen Titans show, like, they cared, but, like, there were some episodes where they were just like, let's do whatever we want, you know?
Let's create a tofu monster.
Exactly.
And have him hit the bowels of a restaurant.
Exactly. They could do so much with it, especially with some of those villains. So, because there was, like, that one where, like, that woman, like, was baking people into pies and stuff. Remember that episode? Like, they could go weird with it.
Or the one with the weird trash can robot.
Yeah, I think so.
Or the one in a dumpster or something.
The one where they thought Beast Boy was stuck as a dog, but it was an alien.
Yeah, that was a good one too. God, that show's so good. I wish I had it on DVD.
They're coming out with a Blu-ray this year of all 5 seasons.
Okay, I'm glad I didn't get the DVD then. I want the Blu-ray.
They're also doing one of Avatar: The Last Airbender, I believe.
Oh, well, that'll finally give me an excuse to watch The Last Airbender, because I'm one of the 10 people in the world who never watched the show.
Oh, jeez. We're about to get a ton of hate comments.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Direct all your hate to @EricCrowbar on Twitter. That's my Twitter.
Eric's probably going to hate that we just rambled for a lot of this episode. But, I mean, we discussed what we were going to.
That's and also, it doesn't affect me. This is your ship.
That is very true. Right. Hey, but he entrusted it to me.
Yeah, so it's his fault.
That's it. Zeus is just like a plant from some of the podcasts sent over here to ruin us.
I'm the plant from Misaligned. How's it going?
Hey, man. It's been crazy over at the channel this week, though. It's been so much scheduling stuff and all that. But hey, do we have anything else to discuss? He wanted us to discuss those TRU issues, but is there really anything to discuss with that beyond the fact that Big Bad Toy Store and Entertainment Earth and all that are picking them up?
Not really. Oh, we were just going to talk about the Incredibles 2 trailer.
Yes, we were going to talk about the Incredibles 2 trailer.
That was the one thing I brought to the table.
That was a fun trailer. I liked it.
Yeah, that was.
When is that movie coming out again?
I want to say July.
No, isn't it next year?
No, it's this year.
Is it this year? What's coming out next year? There's something that got announced that's coming out next year. I'll remember it later. But
I don't know what that was, but here I'm gonna. Yeah, it's June actually.
All right, yeah, I'm thinking of something else then, because something got announced for like next year, and I was like, I can't wait with that much hype. I don't remember what it was. I'll remember later and hate myself.
Probably the second half of Infinity War.
Maybe. I don't know. Or it might have been something. It might have been like a DC or a Marvel movie. I don't know.
Might have been New Mutants.
Yeah, no, that's what it was. That's what it was.
All right. I solved the Da Vinci Code. What's my prize?
You get no prize. You're on this show.
Oh.
You get sadness, despair.
I already have all of that.
And comics.
I've got a couple comics.
There you go.
Somewhere in here I have The First Lost Light, and also somewhere in here
I'm so sorry.
I thought it was all right.
You know what we're going to have to do? And I'm going to tell Eric this, and I'm not going to give him a choice. We're going to have to do an episode devoted to the Transformers stuff when they end in September.
And also somewhere in here I have, like, I don't even know what it was, but I have, like, a Bravest Warriors trade paperback or something.
There you go. But, yeah, Incredibles 2 trailer looks really good. I think I already know who the villain's going to be. So I think it's going to be, like, the rich guy.
It's Pixar. And you can kind of already figure out why it would be him. It's because he wants to bring superheroes back into the spotlight, and every good hero needs a good villain.
Exactly.
Et cetera, et cetera.
But I like that they're giving Elastigirl the main spot, because she got stuff in the original, but it wasn't her story. I like that they're doing her story now as well. So
I mean,
now we just need a Frozone movie.
Absolutely. I mean, sure, some of the plot parts are going to be predictable, but they're always good movies.
Yeah.
You know, because it's Pixar.
There's definitely going to be a scene where she has to choose her job over her family or something. Like,
Yeah.
like in the original one where Mr. Incredible had to choose, like, his family or the being a hero and stuff.
Then, yeah.
Something's going to happen with Jack. And
Absolutely. I mean, we can sit here and speculate about the plot points that are probably going to happen.
For the next
we could
hour,
just say,
but...
but we've already hit an hour.
Exactly.
And we've made it pretty clear we're still going to end up seeing this movie, even if it ends up being mostly predictable. Because it looks like it's going to be a lot of fun. And
it is just a visually good-looking movie as well.
Plus, like, the first Incredibles is one of my favorite Pixar movies, and also one of my favorite superhero movies.
It's the Fantastic Four movie we should have got.
Yeah, exactly. So, I mean, I'm definitely going to see this. I love Brad Bird. I think he's been really good with most of the stuff he's done.
I think they're going to do well with it. I think it's going to be... I'm just trying to think how much money that movie's going to make. Like,
so much. They're going to be... If they weren't already rich, they definitely would be after this.
They're going to be able to build a new studio with it.
They can build a second Disneyland.
Imagine if they made a Incredibles, like, movieverse. That'd be interesting.
Oh, yeah.
The Incrediverse.
Then they do the Frozone movie. Maybe they do a movie about some other superheroes that show up.
Yeah, because a lot of those superheroes died. But that was always the interesting thing about that movie, is that they just were like, oh yeah, these characters died, but it's like, it would have been kind of cool to know show their stories and stuff. And there's so many interesting villains in there as well, like Bon Voyage. That's a great villain and a great name.
I mean, absolutely, if they do decide at some point to do like an Incredibles verse, it'd be cool to go back to some of those, like Bon Voyage or... and
there's so much hidden stuff in that old movie that I still see people like figuring out today, like something about the code or something with like the machine that Mr. Incredible had to fight, like one of the dying villains like wrote it on the cave wall that he found or something like that.
Like I just watched the movie, I think it was some point last year, and when I was a kid I didn't pick up on that, but you know.
Yeah, like there's so much stuff you pick up on, like when he's looking through like a bunch of the names, someone brought up the point that one of the hero's powers is literally just fart on people. Like it describes like excretes gases.
And somehow the first time I watched the movie when I was like 6 or 7, I didn't realize that all those characters were dead.
Yeah.
Somehow I missed that, you know?
They very much are.
And also another thing, and this is like a similar thing with Lilo and Stitch, is going back and watching it as someone who's more mature. I don't know if those air quotes were audible enough, but
no, they were audible enough. I got it.
Yeah. You know, I can pick up on some more interesting story stuff. Like when I first saw it, it was like, oh yeah, superheroes, this is so cool. But like some of the stuff with his family life, even now, going back and watching it is really interesting.
Yeah.
And that's
Pixar tends to try to do as much of that as they can, trying to actually weave together I don't want to say intricate storyline, but something meaningful,
something
and
that
relatable.
Both the kids and the adults can enjoy, and that's that's what I think. If we're just going off on a side tangent here, that's what I think is a big problem with like the animation genre in general, is that it's mostly treated as kids stuff and like, oh, who cares? Kids will watch anything. Let's just make a movie about emojis.
Yeah, but then you see like some of the cartoons we watched as kids, or even now some of the cartoons like Amazing World of Gumball, and there's so much adult humor in it. Not even like adult humor, like intelligent humor.
Yeah, exactly.
That's the thing.
Like, I've recently just been on, for some reason I decided to go back and watch SpongeBob again, and like so much of that I didn't get as a kid, and it's so much better now that I'm older and I can get some of the humor.
And I think one of the things that is going to be really good for Incredibles 2 is it's clear they're focusing a lot more on the family life aspect as well. And I think that's good because a lot of the people that grew up with that movie are going to be having families now or starting off families now, you know?
Okay, I just looked over at my wall and there's a spider there and it's freaking me out. It's right by my bed.
Burn your house down. Wait. You live in California. The state will do it for you.
Oh.
Not until the drier seasons.
Give it time.
So it sounds like I kind of missed.
Take my sandal and there. Now.
What'd you miss, Mike?
Dead.
It sounds like I kind of missed out by not watching the first Incredibles movie.
You haven't seen that?
Oh my god.
Okay, we are gonna have to have a movie night.
That's I think that's almost on the level of me not having seen The Last Airbender cartoon.
No, I think it's a little worse.
Yeah.
Because at least,
well, yeah, it's been in the lexicon. I mean, everybody at work has seen it. They know what it's about, and I know it's not a parody of superheroes, but
it's one of the best. I'd say it's one of the best superhero movies of all time.
Absolutely, it's very much Brad Bird wanted to do a superhero movie, so he did one. But also, it's like a fun superhero movie that you could take your kids to, and you're not going to worry about anything too heavy.
With the Incrediverse, with that whole thing we were making a joke about, like, I think the one thing that would be really good with that is if they had Pixar doing it, those movies would take a couple years to make, at least, would make them superior, I feel, to the MCU. Because those, I mean, I don't need an Incrediverse, but I'm just saying, like, if they made one, I feel like it would be much more superior to the MCU in terms of just storytelling.
Because they'd be able to take more time with it. They wouldn't have to pump out 2 movies a year. And again, not to like knock on Marvel, because I think their stuff is still pretty good, and I've liked almost everything they put out, but a lot of it's very samey feeling.
Exactly, that's the thing. Whereas I don't think Incredibles 2 is going to feel the same as Incredibles 1, because we've seen like every time they put out a new movie for one of their franchises, it never feels the same. Toy Story 1 doesn't feel the same as 2, 2 doesn't feel the same as 3, and 4 isn't going to feel the same as 3, as it's apparently going to be a rom-com.
Oh,
so
that sounds good. I want to see this now.
I don't know what they're gonna do with that, but
before I was a little reluctant because it's like, do we really need a 4th Toy Story? But now, that sounds
that's good. Why I'd be fine with them making like another kind of like another movie for the Incredibles. Honestly, if you ask me who would do a great Frozone movie, probably either be A, the director of Black Panther, or B, the guy who made Boondocks. I mean, make it kid appropriate, but like I think he would do a great job with it.
Yeah. It was it Coogler who did?
Yeah, Ryan Coogler.
Yeah, he did really good with that. I think he'd be pretty good for a Frozone movie.
Yeah. So I think that all could do well. But we have hit the hour and 8-minute mark, so we're about the time when we should be wrapping up, I'd say. Unless anyone else has anything to talk about.
The famed podcast hour and 8-minute mark.
Yes.
Well-established rule that a podcast over an hour and 8 minutes won't be watched.
I don't know. I was looking through all of the times on the channel, and they seemed to be around like an hour to an hour and 15 minutes. So I'm like, well, I should probably keep it around that. So.
And as we're kind of
rambling. Yeah, we're just kind of rambling at this point.
Yeah.
My ship is the best ship because I let people speak.
But sometimes those are the best podcasts you can hear. It's just when they sort of go off on that tangent and they just keep talking.
We stayed on the topic of comics the entire time, so I think that.
But it's. Yeah. If we can move away from comics real quick and ruin that, I think freeform. It's still sort of related. I think freeform conversation podcasts with a general theme are the ones that are the most entertaining to listen to, because it's like a couple people having a conversation about something they're really passionate about, or if it's something they hate, just let you know.
Yeah, like I like that we have show notes for a lot of the shows, and I feel that some of the shows do need show notes. But like I feel like with this, it's like we can talk news, but then the rest of the time it's just like, well, what's interesting to us right now as comic book fans?
Like Misaligned would not work if we didn't have show notes and if we didn't have like
exactly. Same with TF Primecast, like
because that's like that's specific topics that everyone's talking about. It's
exactly, and like Steel City Boss as well.
Talk about the continuity of whatever, the continuity of the Aligned series.
Yeah, but there's some podcasts where you could just like go off, like Steel City Bots, like there's show notes for that and stuff, and I've been on there before, and it's not much of like a go off on a tangent kind of thing, but like there are discussions and stuff where like you guys will just go off, and like I feel like that's good to have, especially on a podcast like this where there's so much news. Like there's a lot of Transformers news, but there's a lot of stuff we can talk about, and that's the thing.
Because there's always new comics coming out, and there's always new movies thought up.
So essentially what I'm saying is if you like my style of running the podcast, make sure to comment down below and bother Eric on Twitter and let him know.
Well done. Well
See how I brought that around?
I bet right about now
he pulled the ship that was sinking. He pulled
Eric,
it right up out of the water.
Eric just sneezed somewhere.
Actually, Eric is just like smelling a mutiny right now.
Yeah, he's smelling the mutiny. He's like, something's wrong on my ship. He's gonna get back from wherever he is right now, and he's gonna be like, Aaron, what did you do? Like, because he let Chris run a podcast, and he let me run a podcast. This weekend is going to be insane. Like, that's all I'm saying. But yeah, let's wrap this up. So if you guys want to say everything you need to say about your social medias and stuff real quick, Mike, you can go first, since you have less weapons than Zeus.
But at least I can wield my weapons, I hope.
That's a challenge.
You saying I can't wield a knife, Mike? You wanna see me pick up this tiny pocket knife I have in my room and wave it around? Is that what you're trying to get me to do? You think I'm some kind of circus monkey? You think I'll just do whatever you want me to do just because you say I can't do it? Well, you're wrong, sir.
The reverse psychology just didn't work tonight.
Mike's not that tired yet.
But anyway, you can find me on Twitter at the Bondo Man.
That it?
Yes, sir.
All right, you're up, Zeus.
All right, you can find me on Twitter at _Zeus. That's the word _ spelled out. I mentioned earlier I have an Amazon list up because my birthday is in less than 3 weeks now. Jesus Christ, I'm going to be an adult. That's terrifying. You can also find me on Instagram at pcm.exe, where I've been posting a lot of pictures of...
Yeah, I follow you over there. You always post fun stuff.
Which I've mentioned earlier in the show. And you can, if you want to see a man-child throwing toys around on a gray background, you can go to my YouTube channel, PCM Reviews, where at some point I actually had to get out a review of Masterpiece Optimus Primal, because that's what ended up winning my Twitter poll.
Yeah. You took some good pictures with him, too, on your Instagram. I like the one of him riding, who was it? What character? Squeaks?
Rhinox. Oh, Squeaks. Yeah, that one was good. And I come up with stupid captions for them sometimes, too, where that one was like, on my way to steal your girl.
Yeah, I thought it was funny. I thought that was a funny one.
I have a lot of fun with it.
That's what you gotta do. You have to have fun with it, otherwise what's the point, You
could do the serious action poses, or you could have a gorilla riding around on a moped.
Exactly. That's there's two ways you can go with it. There's two ends of the spectrum. You just heard him choose your side.
There's only two. Cool action poses, gorilla on a moped.
What's life without a gorilla on a moped?
What if it's a gorilla on a moped in an action sequence?
Absolutely.
I feel like we've just crossed into the Twilight Zone for a second there. So
yeah,
I'll plug myself real quick, and then I'll make sure to plug the channel. So you can follow me at Mariasha on Twitter, Instagram, all that, MAROYASHA, and I've got a YouTube channel of the same name where I talk comics mainly, and I did a video talking about the end of the Transformers universe in the comics over at IDW. So make sure to check those out. And I recently did a stream, and I thought I'd mention it on here, with a comic book creator named Tim Morris, who is doing a Kickstarter that has 17 days left as of this recording. They need more money. I'm not promoting it because of that, but I am also promoting it because of that. But they're doing a cool thing where if it's a comic, basically it's like World War III, but with like chibi girls and stuff. And it's very much like the anime Metal Slug, he says, but it's got like a voice actor aspect to it. So like if you in the Kickstarter, if you order a physical or digital copy, it comes with a link to files that are audio files that are like audio logs of the characters, and he's got like professional anime voice actors doing them and stuff too. So it's like it's top-notch stuff. And I've read the book. He gave me a review copy. It's all done and it's pretty good. Like I dig it. So thought I'd mention that since I was into that and I did a stream with him recently that you can check out. It's like 2 hours or something on my channel. OBS kept dying, so, you know, having fun. And then make sure to follow at Awesome Asylum, even though none of us post on there, but I'm going to try to soon.
And I have no reason to, because I'm just a guest here.
Exactly.
Somehow I managed to get on the second time.
Yeah, Eric one day entrusted me with the Awesome Asylum stuff, and he entrusted all of us with it, like all of us that are on Awesome Asylum, and we never really use it, so I'm going to try and do that more. But that's at Awesome Asylum, not at Asylum, like Eric wrote in the show notes. So yeah, at Awesome Asylum.
Wait,
and then
did he write that?
Yes, he misspelled it. And then I'm calling him out for it because it's fun. Someone will bother him about it later. And he probably won't listen to this. So, and follow...
Yeah, it's Awesome Asylum.
Yeah, and follow at Nerdy Geek Talk for all the stuff about the channel, the group here, as I like to call it, our little podcast network. So
yeah, that reminds me, you can also check me out on Misaligned, where we were supposed to have an episode this week, but that ended up falling through because we planned poorly and we tried to cover 3 video games in the span of an hour, and we just kind of ran out of steam by the end. So expect that next week, but only 1 video game.
Yeah, that's how I would do it. I would split up each. So
well, we hadn't really talked about it that much beforehand. I thought we were doing it one way. Soundjack thought we were doing it that way.
And everyone seemed to think I was on as well when I never confirmed that at all. Like, it was a fun time.
Yeah, absolutely. And then Jared ended up dropping off last minute, so it was another one that was just me and Soundjack.
Yeah. But then there's other stuff on the the channel as well. We've got what do we have this week? We got TF Primecast from a few days ago. I don't think you can expect an episode this week on that because Eric is out of town, so we didn't get to record that. You got Steel City from this week. You got Mandalore Mandate, which what is that again? That's
just general Star Wars news.
Yeah, that's what it is. And Holocron Herald is their Clone Wars series. So you can check all those out. I'm assuming on Steel City Bots, you guys talked about Thermidor and Star Wars based on the title.
Why are you asking me? I was a recurring guest.
I don't know.
I listened though, and he said something about Bisk being in Star Wars at the very end. That's where the title came from.
There you go. And then over on Holocron Herald, I know which episodes they're talking about because I know every episode of Clone Wars pretty much, and I know which episode those are. That is the ones where they crash land on the planet with the lemur people, and Ayla Secure is there, and all that, and Captain Bly and stuff. So go check that out.
Is that the one with the big field around the planet, and then they couldn't get out because they'd get cut to pieces?
No.
Different time they landed on a planet.
That's the one where Anakin gets injured and they land on the planet because their ship gets like thrown in the hyperspace or whatever. And then they're testing. Yeah, they're testing out like the biological weapon. So yeah, go check that out. That's from 2 days ago. And then coming on Sunday, if I'm correct, Chris said there might be a different date for its release. I'm not totally sure what's going on with that. We weren't sure ourselves. We just kind of winged it with that one. We have our anime podcast coming out, Anime Overdrive. That's like the 8th name we came up with. So that's going to be coming out soon. And we talked about stuff that's upcoming for anime, our favorite anime, introduced ourselves, all that. So that's what's on there this week with my rambling on all that.
And that's when I should never be on because I don't watch anime and I'd be completely out of my depth there.
That would actually be a good episode, though.
Oh yeah, if I'm on there, I'll just be like, Teen Titans is pretty cool. I like Pokemon.
Yeah, but so yeah, check all those out, and you can find all the podcasts on basically any podcasting thing like iTunes. I don't know, are we on Spotify?
I don't know. No, because you have
Probably
to pay
not.
for that.
Yeah, you have to pay for Spotify. So
Apple Podcasts, Google Play, Stitcher, Podbean. I think that's it.
Pretty much anywhere you can download podcasts that you don't have to pay to be on it. So, yeah.
So not Spotify.
Yeah, so like, comment, subscribe. Remember, hit the notification bell, though, because YouTube is YouTube. And even if you hit the notification bell, there's no guarantee you get anything. So check back at the channel every day because we pretty much have something every day. So, until next time, stay safe.
And buy stuff for me, an internet stranger, because my birthday's soon.
And Mike, whatever you want to say to send us off, go right ahead. This will be our ending.
Just send me anything. I'll take almost anything. If I don't like it, I'll just resell it.
Send him another machete or something.
Yeah.
I'll send him a top hat that I've stepped on.
There you go. Until next week, all of you beautiful people, have a good night.